Yes, sir. What's poppin'? It's your boy, the boy Henry Heck, back at it again with another video. Today is a good day, a real good day. We got some information, some video footage from the boys and girls, the homies, the homettes, the fellas over there at Bungie regarding Marathon. Yes, sir, Bob. Yes, sir, Bob. We got some more information, and before I get off into it, appreciate you for clicking upon the video. Appreciate you. Hopefully you stayed throughout the whole thing. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Let's get off into the meat and potatoes and let me roll the video. Of course, this gonna be reaction style. So it's gonna be pausing, it's gonna be stopping, it's gonna be talking. For me. You know what I'm saying? But let's get it popping. Right here, right now.
Runner shells is what we're calling the bioprinted bodies that you, the runner, inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti. Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay.
So abilities, passives, stat packages married to a very distinct silhouette that then players can look at, 50, 60 meters away and say, oh, I know what that is. I know what that player is capable of, and I can start to think about how to counteract it.
One of the things we really want to do from the build crafting side is making sure that we're providing people ingredients instead of giving them a recipe. Figuring out what you want for your build that is unique, and you do that across cores, you do that across implants, you do that across weapon mods.
And that's going to be a dope part of the game. It's really going to be a dope part of the game. That's one of the things I really look forward to, checking out when the game comes out, because that piece where he said you could look out into the distance and see an individual and recognize what shell they're using and possibly the play style they will, exercise on you. That's why I really do appreciate games where there's a set look for there's a set look for individuals who play a certain way, right? Like a lot of people in some games where they like transmog because they want to make whatever armor look like however they want to make it look, and that freedom. And I get it in a way, but I also want to be able to look at an individual and see what they might possibly be capable of. It was a conversation about this same thing in Helldivers, and I think it's just less important. It may be less important inside of Helldivers because it's not PvP focused, it's just PvE. But I would like to be able to look at an individual and see, okay, this gonna be your ordnance guy, this gonna be your medic type of guy. Those type of situations, I do think there's a use case for that in these type of games, especially extraction styles of games. And you able to recognize what a person might be able to do to you. And inside of that too, though, I also hope there's visual customizations we can do within the specific classes and shells we're playing with. Like I want to be able to make my version of the destroyer look different than your version of destroyer, be it different types of cosmetics and ornaments and things like that. So you'll still be able to tell I'm a destroyer class, but my destroyer class won't look like this individual's destroyer class. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I like that. And the ability to be able to customize even your play style with the cores and abilities of the shell. So you're not only playing off the class abilities, you also playing off your weapon abilities. And I like that. It's gonna be extremely fun to not only create certain builds myself, but also see what other people are putting together and what they're able to make successful inside of this game. I think it's gonna be hella dope.
Cores are powerful standalone perks that can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit. We also want to make sure that there are interesting combinations of things that work together, but they have hooks that go out into the other systems, so you can create this like crazy Rube Goldberg machine.
Depending on your playstyle, if you're like someone who hangs back and likes to snipe, you're someone who likes close quarters combat and you're gonna rush in, you're gonna wanna cater the items that you're finding differently.
The idea there is like, have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're gonna build on top of that.
And that's gonna be another thing too, because you'll want to probably jump in and check out. You probably gonna, you know, have a specific class in mind that you want to play. Like me, I feel like I'm gonna want to play triage, but I might end up wanting to play something else. You know what I'm saying? But there's room in there to make your triage or your destroyer or what have you play more so in a more aggressive kind of way, or more so in a defensive kind of way. So even though we both might play destroyer, mine might play a little bit different than yours. I think that's cool as hell. I think it's hella cool.
Destroyer is aggressive, brutal, wears a modified, futuristic version of the Mjolnir armor from the original trilogy.
The shell is designed to get into the fight as fast as possible and stay there. It comes equipped with thrusters on its legs that let it sprint faster, or you can use them for a quick lateral evade.
A riot barricade so that they can generate presence and they can generate like almost like aggro for their team.
Its prime ability is Search and Destroy, which activates shoulder-mounted missile pods that fire heat-seeking missiles.
They have a way to lock down targets over sustained fire, which immobilizes them and allows your team to follow up.
And that's like one thing that Bungie excels at is that movement and that shooting. It's gonna be crisp every single time. It's gonna be buttery. It's gonna be buttery. This class right here might be a problem, because it's got high mobility and then it's got the heat-seeking missiles. Come on with it. Then it got a shield. You know, I had read that the damage the riot shield takes can then be transferred into like overshield, a kind of shield for the shield itself. So you could be in the mix, taking damage right before your shield about to break, pop your riot shield, absorb some damage, charge your shield back up, and then get right back busy. And you could be in there moving and shaking like Kevin got darn bacon because of these booster jets that you have in your calf muscles. Come on, that's going to be a versatile class right there, real versatile class. I think that's going to be a class right there for the good brother, Will Trim 7JP, because he like to be in the mix. He say he don't like live service, but he like to play aggressive. He like to get in the mix, and he like to drop bodies. I think he gonna mess around and enjoy that class right there. If he, you know what I'm saying, wind up picking it, of course.
Our Assassin Shell is built for players that like to play slow and quiet. It's very much a classic, you know, backline infiltrator. It has a dive ability that can be used to negate fall damage from any height.
Their tactical ability is invisibility. You pull this like shroud of invis over yourself. You can sprint during it, you can mantle during it, but the faster you move, the more visible you're gonna become. And if you take any actions, heal, shoot, get shot, you'll reveal yourself for a short duration.
And that's important. That's important, because one thing that can be annoying is when you have, in a game, especially in a game like this, you have an individual who can be invisible. You know what I mean? That can be overpowered very easy. But here, the way they've kind of balanced that and kind of put a limit on it is the quicker you move, the faster it burn out. If you heal, it burns out. If you shoot, it burn out. You know, and I've played the character itself. I've seen the character. You can't be invisible for a ton amount of time. But in backtracking back to that first piece, with certain builds and weapons, it's a weapon add-on where you can, when you shoot up your clip and reload, you turn invisible. So you can stack it and maneuver and be super invisible if you want to, like invisible times 10 if you want to. But they got systems in there to check that as well. So it's if you're a good player, a great player, you'll be able to, you know, get busy. But everybody's not going to be able to do it. It's probably going to be like the top 5% that's able to just be and abuse the invisibility. I don't see everybody being able to do that. And even so, in the future, if it does become a problem, they can tweak it and tune it and kind of. Even though I'm not a fan of nerfing, I'm pretty against nerfing or buffing. I think you just leave shit alone. But it is rare occasions where you gotta tweak some stuff.
Their prime ability sends out this disc. It creates this like plumes of smoke that you can enter into, and then when combined with their passive shroud, they go invisible when they enter smoke. The whole thing here is like be invisible, be sneaky, and then enshroud the world in smoke.
Originally, Recon was called internally Fun Police. That really is the core kind of fantasy. It's about hunting people down. It's about playing detective. If you want to find all the assassin shells on the map, Recon is the shell you want to use. It comes with.
See, they got checks and balances inside the game, and this is before, I forget, the very first beta I played as this class, and I really liked this class for that specific reason, because I knew anytime you get an individual that can be invisible and then sneak and do all that kind of stuff, they gonna leap at it. They gonna take, that's what they want to play. They want to be the individual. They want to be a ninja. But this class really does nip that in the bud. And of course, obviously, you still got to be on point with your gunplay, because it's gonna come down to a scrap. Sure, you spot them, but at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to a scrap. And if they better than you, they better than you. It's gonna happen. Not to mention, you got to spot them first. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be occasions where you don't spot them first, and y'all get into a scrap and you come out on top. But that really just depends upon your skill your gunplay skills. But this is probably gonna be my secondary class. If not, it probably, I don't know, I'm on the fence between this and triage, because I do like, the healing. I'll talk about that when they get to it, but I feel like this is going to be a solid class as well, because you'll be able to do a lot of the investigatory things, and I'm gonna just let him roll the footage and give his explanation on that.
A tracker drone that you can toss out a little spider friend that crawls along the ground and will track towards enemies and explode. And that explosion overheats the target.
They can't move, they can't sprint, they're taking tick damage, and they like help you lock down a target so you can pursue them. And for their prime, Recon has this really awesome helmet that splits open, and they tap in these cool key codes. It opens up and pulses, and it sends out this like wave that detects both AI and players and marks them for you.
And when you break the shield of somebody as a Recon shell, they leave holographic footprints behind. So even if they run away, you can follow that trail and they'll lead right to them.
And then finally, awareness, where if you get pinged, it'll actually tell you that someone like sees you. You won't know where, but you'll be able to be on high alert that somebody saw you and has marked you.
And you see right there, with that penguin awareness, it's not OP to the point to where you just automatically know where they at. You still can get got. You still can get snuck up on and killed. But it's just something else that's added to the kit to make it valuable to players. And that's another thing I like too. They're giving things to these kits that really make them valuable. So when you pick one, you got to put some thought into it. You know what I'm saying? You're not just picking a class just for one thing. It's a whole host of things you can take advantage of while you're playing as whichever shell you're playing as. And they fit into a team. You know what I mean? They fit. Everybody got a purpose. Everybody got things they can bring to the table in order to make the team itself as a whole successful. I like that. It don't seem like there will be a useless class up in this joint.
Vandal is our shell that is, just by its very nature, more agile than our other shells. It has microjets that let it do a double jump. It has a power slide that goes much further than our normal sprint slide.
Their prime overloads their movement system so they can commit and chain all those actions together. They're about getting in and out, causing chaos.
The arm cannon for Vandal unfolds, and you find a big-ass gun barrel inside. You can use it to knock people out of cover. You can use it to knock people off of buildings, which is way more fun than knocking them out of cover.
The number of times we've knocked people off of field maintenance is a great thing.
And this is a prime harasser style class right here. They get in, do some damage, get out, get in, knock you and disorientate you, and have your team scrambling, causing chaos, causing a ruckus, and allow for your teammates to get in the proper position and get in and move and shaking and mess stuff up for you. This class right here is also gonna be. I'm not too keen on playing it. It's just not really my play style. I don't play when I play these type of games, even with classes. I don't generally go for these types of characters. Though they do have the speed, and this class will potentially have the damage because since you can equip whatever gun you want to. Like they can hop in here with, like we seen with a double barrel sawed off type of gun, so they can hop in and mess you up. You know, they can disrupt a lot of your team synergy and your flow. It's gonna be a solid class for a lot of people, I feel like.
Marathon is a game that is all about finding the best stuff on the map, so we felt like we needed to have a shell that was sort of built for the loot goblin fantasy. That is Thief to a T. Thief's trait ability is X-ray visor, where you flip down your visor, you can see containers through walls, you can see enemies that are within line of sight.
Their prime is pickpocket drone, where they deploy this like elegant origami mechanicalized butterfly. It has like a mechanical whip that it can send out, and that knocks loot out of both players and AI, and then it can suck that loot back up with the same whip. Or you can use it for recon. You can fly around, you can ping, those pings are shared to your squad.
See, initially I would say, oh, this is more so like a selfish type of class, but no. Because you can use this drone to do recon and ping things for your team, because it said that the pings are shared. And so that is cool. You can get a whole bunch of intel about before you move on a location. You can get a lot of intel about that location before your team actually go in there. So the more intel you have, the better equipped and better prepared you can make yourself to be. And when I say equipped, I say like equipped with intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because when you go in there, you going in there with whatever you got. But intelligence is also something that obviously can be used to your advantage in a situation like this, in a game like this. Because if it's not on cooldown, before you hear some gunfire, you hear some shooting, you hear some shenaniganery, you send that joint off in there, ping some things, get some points, and then maybe it'll be kind of cool to have this class with your, I forget the name of the goddamn class. The class they just went over it too. They just went over it with the Seeker Mine and all that, like the Intel class. Them two together, like this recon drone with that class, and then obviously you probably want to throw you a destroyer off in there just for somebody to run in there. Maybe even throw your harasser type class off in there. It's gonna be a whole bunch of team type of synergy builds you'll be able to put together. And like I was saying before, each of these classes got portions of the kit that's very useful to the team, because initially going into it, it's like, okay, sure, you can see the boxes through the wall. Sure, you can use the drone to knock pieces of loot off of enemies and NPCs and things like this, which may or may not be useful to the team. But this drone right here doing this type of stuff, 100% useful to the team.
The Thief Shell also has a built-in grappling device that is embedded right in the forearm. You shoot out a dart. Mid-flight, it unfolds into this propeller that pulls you along, and you can swing away to safety.
The recharge rate for their grapple and their base handling and stats will go up as you fill the backpack. So the idea is to become a loot goblin, right?
That's a cool piece too, because you would think the heavier you get, the more stuff you load in, it'll make it slower, or even recharge slower, you know, because of the weight aspect. But it actually make you perform better. That's interesting. They kind of flip the script with that portion right there.
Steal as much as you can and get out.
My boy.
The Triage Shell is our shell for support players. If you want to keep your allies kicking so they can kick back, we have Triage for you.
They're equipped with these awesome like capacitive gauntlets where you activate them and then you can overcharge them and send out these tendrils that then like shock you back to life. Their tactical ability, they actually have these giant drones attached to the legs and they pull them out, and it's a little buddy, he's got a little face, and you give him a high five and send him on his way, and he'll come and hover over your shoulder and provide you with shields and health.
Triage is really a combat medic, so we knew we needed to give it an ability that was useful for firefights.
They've got...
And that's important too, because in a lot of ways, it's a delicate balance when you got medics, because they can be OP when you have a situation where they can self-heal, and if you can heal teammates too much too quickly, and then also you don't want to have them underpowered to the point to where people don't feel as though they can be effective as far as dealing damages and things like that. I think we're gonna have to see, because I think in a way this shell right here can still be kind of OP or annoying to deal with, especially with the drone situation. You know, how long is that thing gonna be out? How much healing is that gonna be doing? You know what I'm saying? What's the cooldown on that? If I aim at that little drone and shoot him and blow him up, do it recharge immediately? Or is it on an even longer cooldown because it's been destroyed? You know what I'm saying?
Two traits. The first one is a trait ability called battery overcharge, where they overcharge their capacitive gauntlets, which makes their weapons performance better. And if you're using battery weapons specifically, breaking shields will EMP targets, and that becomes an on-ramp to like a whole new layer of build crafting. And then they have
That's cool. That's cool, because that won't, yes, it will work for all guns, but if you have voltage weapons, it'll work differently, because it'll cause that EMP explosion to knock shields and this, that, and third to the enemies that's around them. So that's cool. So with this class, you'll probably want to lean more so into weapons that use batteries instead of, I mean, of course, when you first get out there, you're going to use what you want to use, but after you get some gear, when you jump into a drop, you're going to want to bring, you know what I'm saying, what you want to bring. And also, it kind of lets individuals know what you might be rocking with. Oh, we see a triage over there. He might more than likely have a battery powered gun. When we engage him, we might not necessarily want to be so close together, so if he break a shield, MP come out and affect everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a little more thinking. Let's get it popping.
the second trait, shareware, which is really cool, which is any buddies that have medi drones on them, any consumable you use will get like copied to them. So you kind of almost are this like battle medic that's like constantly running triage on your team.
That's cool.
Sometimes you just want to take a breather after a bunch of runs and just kind of go on a run to just see what happens. And Rook is really fun for that.
Picking Rook automatically opts you in.
I played with Rook quite a bit in the last test, not the last test, but the test previous where he was available, and just it was a lot. The experience was a more chill experience for I don't even know why. It just felt more chill. I felt more relaxed. You're not taking your stuff in there. You can't take your stuff in there when you select this shell. You got a pistol and some, I think a bit of healing, and that's it. You in there pretty much just get your scavenge on, build your vault, and hopefully maybe you get some good stuff, maybe not, but you know what I'm saying, whatever ain't that great, you're gonna sell off anyway. You go in there, probably get some stuff to complete a quest and objectives and that type of deal. But exactly how he's saying, you done a few runs and you just want to kick back. Maybe before you go to bed and call it a night, you want to get you a Rook run in, satiate your vault, and maybe try to clean up a quest or two, but you don't really want to deal with the stress of having to use your own stuff.
To queuing in solo. You're able to enter into a match in progress, and you're given a starting kit. You're not allowed to bring anything in. That's almost to your advantage because you risk nothing, and anything you take out is yours to keep.
Instead of focusing on like progression and questing and things of that sort, it's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible and get out with it so that you can populate your vault a little bit more for future runs.
Rook has a tactical ability that lets it blend in with UESC forces. So you activate it, a little mask appears over your face, and you are not perceived by the UESC as hostile. This lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
One of the things...
And that's legit. That is pretty freaking legit and cool. You really like getting your espionage on right there. Go in there, It might be active area. Pop that. I'm not sure how long it lasts, but you pop that. Go in there, get your pickpocket on, pick up this, that, and get the freak up out that joint. You know what I'm saying? So you could potentially get you some quality gear without having to fight for it. I like that. I like that. And also, this merch they wearing is kind of hidden. I think I want me a hoodie or something. I'm gonna have to get some marathon merchandise because I do like Vote Green, and we see it's black and Vote Green. They also got a lot of other vibrant style colors. I'm just a Vote Green type of guy.
That I've really enjoyed about Rook is the added tension. Midway through a session, even though you've known like a few crews got taken out, or maybe you've taken out crews yourself, you don't know how many new players get injected through Rook.
Ultimately, Rook is a morality test, so you have a couple of options when you see a Rook. Either you're a decent person and you drop them a piece of loot and let them be on their merry way, or you are a monster and you blast them in the face. And I'm not gonna say which one I am. I blast a lot of Rooks.
And that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Sometimes you're going to get smoked like a Newport. You know? And it can be, I won't even say it can be discouraging or annoying that, you know what I'm saying, you spent X amount of time and that, because that's the name of the game. That's just what it is. At least when you take the Rook shell out there, you're not risking your own stuff. Whatever you got on your person ain't yours. It ain't yours until you make it out with it. You know, and you didn't make it out with it. Now, if I come across a Rook, I'm not going to say I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to say I am going. It depends on my mood at the time. Like if I'm kind of annoyed and I had a rough day, you getting smoked. You're getting smoked. But if it's been a chill day, we having a good time, and Will 777JP ain't on, because Will 777JP, he going to shoot him. I'm going to tell you right now. He going to shoot him. But I understand, you know what I'm saying? You might have had a bad few runs and you just want to play Rook and try to get some more gear and then jump back into it. I might let you rock. Will 777JP ain't gonna have it. He ain't gonna have it. You going back to the lobby. And there you go. This was an excellent video. They've been doing a really good job of posting and keeping people up to date and letting them know what they're doing and how some systems work. And I really enjoy every piece of content they've put out. It's been informative. It ain't been nonsensical. Everything that they put out have made me more hyped for the game. They just put out this a pretty long video not too long ago. Then they put out a clip of, you know, how the gun chips and stuff. But then they've been really doing, I think, an excellent job as far as, you know, keeping people interested, keep people up to date when it comes to this game. Hopefully it releases and it does extremely well, because like I said multiple times, this is going to be my main PvP type of joint. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm going to be playing this daily. I'm going to be doing my best to learn these systems in this game, become competent in the PvP aspect, and get in, get out, do my quests, I'm just going to jump in and do everything I got to do inside this game and become a extremely competent marathon player. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, some people's excitement have died down, and some people have, you know, written this game off from how it was when it was first revealed. Super high tension, not high tension, but super high hype level. Then that first beta came out, people weren't really feeling it. But then this other beta drop, people warmed up to it. You know, it's not all the trolling and nonsense and conquer and all that other weird stuff people do when it comes to a game they're not even gonna play. But I'm happy, I'm excited, looking forward to it, can't wait to play it. That's all I got for you right now. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscribe. Let me know inside the comments how you feel. Is it something you're interested in? Do you want to play Marathon? Or, you know what, give me something else. Give me another game. I'm playing Ark. I'm loving Ark. It's not Ark Raiders and all the type. If that's you, just let me know down inside. Comment. Catch y'all inside the next one.